Hello Sagittarius, Sagittarius Rising and Sagittarius Moon people. This is your weekly astrological and card forecast for the week starting December 19th, 2016. And a quick reminder for you guys to come back on Wednesday, the 21st of December, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to be doing a special live stream discussion about 2017's astrology. And it's going to go on for about an hour, but you know me, it's probably going to go on for an hour and a half. Actually, and I put up an update video discussing more of that if you want to check that out after this video. Also, class enrollment is on for tarot tutorships and the Astrology Love webinar that I've got going on in January of 2017. So if you want to register and hold your spot early, you can get all the information on how to access the classroom after you register. All of that's going to come in. There's all kinds of all kinds of stuff I'm going to be sending you as we get closer to the dates. I would definitely recommend doing an early enrollment, even though a lot of people tend to do it right beforehand. You can do that at my website, integrativemysticism.com, and hold yourself a spot. It's going to be a lot of fun. And for those of you who are interested, I do have a vlog channel, believe it or not, ScarletMoonMagic, all one word, and this month I am doing a special series on the whole spiritual awakening topic. So already over an hour's worth of content is up on that channel regarding just spiritual awakening alone, plus a ton of other videos, my personal vlogs, spiritual practice, all kinds of fun stuff. So if you're interested in that, you can follow the links below and go there, or just type in ScarletMoonMagic, all one word, on YouTube to find the channel and subscribe there. So, what is going on with your astrology this week then? Let's finally get going on that. Well, this week we've got a lot of stuff happening in the very beginning with Mercury turning retrograde on the 19th. That's Monday. And now Mercury retrograde is a long angle. Normally I wouldn't put long angles in a weekly horoscope. And this is happening, the only reason I'm doing it is because it's also going to be connecting to Pluto. And both of these planets are in your earned income sector. And when we have Pluto and Mercury retrograde come together in the earned income sector, this can actually be very, very good, believe it or not. The only things that I would caution against with Mercury retrograde and Pluto together is to make sure that we're not making anything official during this time. It's not a time to make anything, the new norm or the new standard at work or with finances. And between now and the 9th, the reason that's a big deal is because sometimes we end up having to make some kind of amendment. We may end up, accepting a job and then needing to change the terms of our contract and all of that. Luckily, we've got a lot of break in between now and then, where a lot of businesses tend to just kind of be a bit more lax, so we may actually miss it for you Sagittarius people. But the good stuff when it comes to Mercury retrograde and Pluto is that we can take bad things off the table. We can take things that are hurting our finances off the table. We can take things that are hurting our job or our performance at work off the table. What do we need to get rid of that doesn't belong there? That's the question we got to ask ourselves. It's not about decluttering. This is about getting rid of established rules, or getting rid of established duties, or maybe even expenses that you have. It's a lot more interesting because we're talking about getting you out of something that has been binding during this week. Later on, we do have Saturn in Sagittarius, in your sign, forming a tight connection with Uranus in the best of ways in your 5th house of love and romance. And this is bringing order to chaos. That is the paraphrase for this angle. And when we talk about order to chaos, well, remember, Uranus is still technically retrograde, but we're reconciling any kind of confusion or issues when it comes to balancing time spent with you and a lover, or you and one of your children. If there's been distancing going on, if we've been having a hard time maybe even reconciling our availability, being able to show up, being able to be present at all these important events and things like that we'd like to share with our sweetheart, or even just having more bonding time, quality time at home, this angle is going to make that happen. It's going to allow that to happen. It's going all the way through the holiday, which of course, absolutely, yeah, Christmas is this week, so a lot of people are going to be doing family stuff anyway, spending time with their loved ones anyway. But what's going to happen is that this is going to also become the new norm, so we're kind of elongating that feeling for a lot of you Sagittarius people. Possibly even making things official, which is safe to do if you're curious. Because remember, Mercury retrograde only affects the part of your chart that it's in, not your whole chart. And some of you may actually end up becoming official this week, Sagittarius. What's going on with your cards this week, we may be asking? Well, for your spiritual advice this week, your moral of the story, the undercurrent behind everything, possibly even the solution to a lot of issues, it's going to be the initiate. And the initiate is always talking about allowing yourself to be educated by something foreign to you, or even treating something that seems familiar like something foreign that could educate you. This is a week where we need to afford people the opportunity to teach us and take on that mentorship kind of role, even if it's informal. Even in conflict, sometimes allowing a person to try and explain themselves or allow them, allow them to teach us can either A, get to the root of the real issue because maybe they're not so, maybe it helps them understand what they're saying when they hear what they're thinking out loud, but it also allows us to have a better dialogue. It's really difficult to have constructive arguments when somebody doesn't know what they're talking about. And sometimes when a person can hear that they don't know what they're talking about, it puts us all on an even level, so we can start finding that common ground in which to converse. And so the initiate card is talking about being more warm, being more open to the idea of, again, giving somebody the chance to educate you, whether they can or not. This, again, could be educational for you, or it could at least solve a lot of issues in finding out where we're not on the same wavelength with others. For your challenge this week, not your challenge, I'm skipping a bunch of cards. For your Earth sector, when it comes to your work and finances, we do have the Ten of Wands upright. This week is going to be unexpectedly busy for a lot of Sagittarius people. In fact, the Ten of Wands could indicate a lot of you feeling a bit overburdened by a recent development at the office where you may be taking on more than your fair share. The nice thing about the Ten of Wands is it does talk about overtime potential that could compensate you very well. If you are looking for a way to either get some extra scratch before the end of the year, or you're trying to make up for a recent expense, this is the kind of card you want to see. But don't allow it to take up your whole life, because sometimes with the Ten of Wands upright, we lose our work-life balance. For those of you who are currently looking for a new job, the Ten of Wands says that you will have opportunities available, but they will create a big clash when it comes to what you might be available to have. Whether it's we can actually work the amount of hours they're asking for, which will be a lot, or maybe we're not feeling we can handle that kind of labor or handle the workload. There are going to be some discussions about that, but if you can handle all of that, the job is there for you. For your communications with air, when it comes to your friends, your relatives, and the others in your life, we do have the Star card upright. And a wish is being granted sooner than you could have expected, Sagittarius, this week, and the message may come through a friend or a relative. This most likely will end up being actually kind of a nice turn of events that says a plan is moving forward, or we're going forward, we've got the green light. If you are waiting for a green light, maybe you're waiting for somebody to save up money, maybe you're waiting for somebody to get an approval or authorization, maybe you're waiting for approval or authorization. This is a great card to have because it does give you that very clear yes answer. The Star card upright can also talk about an opportunity to patch up, or to patch things up with a friend or a relative that has actually drifted. And we may be feeling like this has been kind of a lost cause. In fact, a lost cause may be completely reversed when you have the Star card, especially when it comes to, again, interpersonal relationships. So, just don't be surprised if somebody you thought was writing you off, or maybe you were about to write off, turns out it's not going to happen. For your challenge this week with fire, we do have the Empress inverted. And this card can often show up as, a need to pay attention to where, you Sagittarius may be tempted to take advantage of somebody else's good graces. And with the Empress card inverted, the thing is that you just don't want to give off that impression, and you really don't want to get caught doing that, and maybe it's just not good karma to do it in the first place. And I'm not saying this to be mean. Honestly, the Empress card inverted can sometimes show up as, the opportunity to give ourselves a real bad guilt trip. When somebody is perhaps being too generous, or when somebody is actually maybe bending over backwards for us and we didn't even ask. And usually this card can test to see, well, who is operating with, with selfish intentions. It could be them, it could be you. The only thing that I'm seeing here is that what needs to be cut out is maybe too much giving. Because that's normally not what I pick up from this card, but I'm just picking up from this, this week that there's somebody giving too much, and whether they're trying to buy your love, or you, again, maybe they're not trying to buy your love, but you are getting a little bit used to it. I think that we need to just kind of cut it out and put us back in a place where, you know, we're not having any kind of issues with the balance of power in this relationship. We got to get back to an even keel 50-50. For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we do have the Fool card inverted. And this card is showing up, you know, kind of saying that a lot of you Sagittarius people may be having a hard time getting your partner to be a bit more optimistic about something that's actually making them very, very uncomfortable, very, very worried. Some of you may be trying to maybe introduce your partner to your family or to your friends this, you know, this holiday season, maybe trying to do some mixing, and your partner is just a little bit too nervous, a little bit too stressed out. Don't force the issue, but, you know, at the same time, maybe we got to find a better strategy to make this happen, because they can be won over. The Fool card inverted can also indicate, you know, trust issues coming up when it comes to relationships, and this could apply to any of you Sagittarius. You single, you know, you coupled, or again, this could be a relationship with one of your kids, but trust issues are coming up a lot. You may be finding that somebody new in your life is having trust issues after being burned a couple of times, or that, you know, and they are still actually an admirable catch, but we're going to have to take things slow with them. When it comes to your kids, there may be some trust issues going on, or maybe some discomfort with another relative or a member of your family that, you know, before we go out of our way to dismiss, we want to, again, let ourselves be educated. Why is our child not really feeling this other person? So that is your forecast, Sagittarius. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, if you'd like to get a session with me or sign up for any classes, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com.